Hello everyone, Blizzard just announced the 20.4 patch, introducing the new Wailing Caverns mini set alongside a few changes to standard. First off, a couple of tweaks to Paladin. First day of school will be adding 2 random 1-cost minions going down from 3, and Hand of the Doll will be giving +2/+1 going down from +2/+2. And these are like the staples that go into every single Paladin archetype, so this will help lower them down and bring them closer to the other 9 classes. There's another change to Unbound Elemental that's Quality of Life. I think it might interact differently with one of the new cards in the new set, and it also means it doesn't survive a 4 damage AoE, but I don't think there's actually anything in standard that's a 4 damage AoE for Shaman that overloads. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards. So, there's a few cards that summon these tokens to Adventurers. They have 8 different keywords: Taunt, Divine Shield, Spell Damage +1, Lifesteal, Wind Fury, Poisonous, Stealth and Rush. So Divine Shield's the best one, but most of them are okay. And now, if we go to all the cards. So the first class, we've got Sigil of Summoning, a 2-mana shadow spell, Demon Hunter. At the start of your next turn, summon 2 2/2 demons with taunt. I think this is a powerful card because if you look at some of the other dormant cards, like the Hunter one in Prison Felmore, it's a lot of tempo, and this one's only giving up 1 turn, but I don't think an aggro Demon Hunter will get there with just this card. After that, we've got Taint Haunt Tormentor, 8 mana raid 8 demon. Taunt, your opponent's spells cost 2 more. Far too slow for Demon Hunter. You aren't running Ogremancer, so you ain't going to be running this either. And then finally, Fell Rattler, 3 mana 3/2 beast. Rush, Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. This is pretty good off Razorboar, so it could go into Death Rattle Demon Hunter as another 3-drop. It's edge case. It's pretty good though. Next class, Druid. And first, Fangbound Druid. 3 mana 4/3 taunt, Death Rattle, reduce the cost of a beast in your hand by 2. And you might look at this and think, oh, this goes quite well into Clown Druid because you've got the guardian animals. But then at that point you're putting a bad card in your deck for when you draw the card that you don't want to draw, so I don't actually think it's that good. Next up, the legendary minion Lady Anacondra, a 6 mana 3/7 with the text, your nature spells cost 2 less. People have been saying with Celestial Alignment you can just play whatever you want, or if you play Germination, everything costs 6 less, but then you're putting bad cards in your deck. The problem with Celestial Alignment isn't the broken stuff you do after it, it's the problem that you did nothing on 7 mana and your opponent will just kill you. I don't think this actually solves its weakness, so I don't actually think it's good. And the third Druid card, Deviant Dreadfang, 8 mana 4/9 beast. After you cast a nature spell, summon a 4/2 Viper with Rush. This is pretty similar to Exotic Mount Seller, which was actually running the token Druid not that long ago. And this is better because 4/2 Rush is normally better than an average 3-cost beast from Exotic Mount Seller. The problem that comes is the cost, but then Living Seed as rank 2 will reduce it down to 6 mana, so Living Seed on turn 5 lets you curve into this on turn 6. The only problem is Token Druid doesn't really want any more minions when you're running Fungal Fortunes, and it wants to get off faster, so I don't think this is actually that good. Next we have Hunter, and we're starting with Serpent Bloom. 0 mana, give a friendly beast poisonous. So this clearly works pretty well with Kolkar Pack Runner and Wound and Prey, but the problem is, the only Hunter is Face Hunter, and I don't think you have enough slots in your deck to be running this. And then, I think that's the problem with the next card, Sindori Scent Finder, 4 mana 1/6, Frenzy, summon 4/1/1 hyenas with Rush. It's pretty good, but you already have Kolkar Pack Runner and this isn't that good at going face. I feel like if something a bit slow like Highlander Hunter, something along those lines, well, this could definitely be good in the future if something comes along like that. Same with Venom Strike Bow. You're not putting this into Face Hunter. 4 mana 1/2 poisonous weapon. It's pretty good, but not in Face Hunter, so I guess it's pretty bad. Now on to Mage. Starting off with Shattering Blast, a 3 mana frost spell, destroy all frozen minions. I think the problem with this spell is there aren't really enough ways to actually freeze the minions in the first place, what with them taking Frost Nova and Blizzard out, so not good enough. Frostweave Dungeoneer, 3 mana 2/3 minion, Battlecry, draw a spell. If it's a frost spell, summon 2 1/1 elementals that freeze. Again, the only good frost spell really is Brain Freeze, so maybe it's good enough to just draw a spell, but you're not running Star Scryer, and I don't think this is good enough to move away from the Incanter's Flow, no minion mage sort of deck. And finally, Flowcaster, 6 mana 5/5, costs 2 less for each frozen enemy. Mana cheat's pretty good, but you just don't really have the good ways to freeze. You have all this freeze synergy, but not actually good freeze effects. Next up, Paladin. We'll start off with Seed Cloud Buckler, 3 mana 2/3 weapon, Death Rattle. Give your minions Divine Shield. This reminds me of Imprisoned Celestial in that it's slow. You want the Divine Shield now, not after hitting a subpar weapon 3 times, so not really good enough. And after that, Judgment of Justice, because people don't get confused between those Librams already. 1 mana Paladin Secret, Holy. When an enemy minion attacks, set it attack and health to 1. The Holy tag's actually bad because of the 1 mana 1/1 draw a Holy spell, but this could be slotted in over Reckoning because it does a similar job, but the problem is Reckoning's guaranteed to hit something big. This could just turn a 1/1 into a 1/1, so I don't actually think Judgment of Justice is that good. I think you keep to the good secrets of Oh My Yogg and Galloping Savior and perhaps Reckoning as the 5th. The third Paladin card, Party Up, 7 mana spell, summon 5 2/2 adventurers with random bonus effects, and those were the things at the start of the video. Wind Fury, Lifesteal, Divine Shield, that sort of thing. This is just crap. I mean, they had to print some filler because Paladin was already pretty good, but no one's going to be running this. Now Priest. Starting with Devout Dungeoneer, 3 mana 2/3. Battlecry, draw a spell. If it's a holy spell, reduce its cost by 2. Venomous Scorpid's pretty much just better. You don't actually want to draw your deck as Priest because you don't want to fatigue first, so you'd much rather just discover instead of actually drawing. If it wasn't the case, it'd be alright, but... And now we have the most unusual card of the set, I'd say. 5 mana Holy Spell, against all odds, destroy all odd attack minions. I feel like this is just going to annoy people when it comes off palm reading and they're not expecting it. Obviously, you could do it alongside Wave of Apathy for a full clear, so I don't think it's worth including in your deck, but Priest will just find a way to generate both cards and make you very happy when they do it. And the third card, Cleric Caverns, 1 mana 1/2, Battlecry. If you've restored health this turn, discover a spell from your deck. I think it suffers the same problem as Devout Dungeoneer, that you don't want to draw because you'll lose your fatigue advantage, but maybe in non-fatigue it's actually decent. Shadow Visions for 3 mana though. It's a bit questionable when people don't run Thrive in the Shadows in the first place. I think that fatigue factor just comes in too heavy for it to be played. Next class, Rogue. Start with Water Moccasin, 3 mana 2/5 beast with stealth, and it has poisonous while you have no other minions. This is just bad. Then we have 3 mana shadow spell, Shroud of Concealment, draw 2 minions, any played this turn gains stealth for 1 turn. Rogue doesn't need more draw, especially something as fair as 3 mana draw to bad. And then finally, 1 mana spell, Savoury Deviant Delight, transform a minion into both players' hands into a pirate or stealth minion. Why are you running Disruption in Rogue? You might generate it and scam like one every 1,000 games or something, but it's a bad card. Moving on to Shaman, they really need support this time, and this first card certainly is. Starting with Primal Dungeoneer, 3 mana 2/3, Battle Cry, draw a spell. It's a nature spell, also draw an elemental. Basically all the good spells in Shaman are nature except Evolving Missiles, and if you didn't, and that means you'll almost always draw the elemental, and then Cage Max Custodian's pretty good, and the Lilypad Lurker that's been buffed is also pretty good, so you run a few elementals and then you've got your draw package in Shaman, and it might actually be good enough to run some sort of mid-range deck. And even if you do draw Devolving Missiles, it's a pretty good card, and it's still not awful to just draw one. Next, 1 mana fire spell, Perpetual Flame. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. If it dies, recast this. Overload 1, and that's what kills it, because it recasts it, so you can overload so much. It's like, why would you play this over Lightning Storm is my question. No one plays Lightning Storm, and no one will play this most likely. I guess it's just something to discover. The third card for Shaman, finally we have a decent 1-drop. 1 mana 1/3 elemental, Wailing Vapor. After you play an elemental, gain +1 attack. This is what can make Elemental Shaman actually be good. You can actually start the chain right from the get-go, and you know, it's a tunnel truck. It's probably decent. Now on to Warlock, starting off with the 2 mana shadow spell, Unstable Shadow Blast. Deal 6 damage to a minion, excess damage hits your hero. It's a bit like Piercing Shot but reversed. I think, yeah, it's good removal, but I don't think Warlock's really short of removal. It's short of healing, really, to be able to deal with other decks, so it doesn't really fill any slots. Now, next, 1 mana shadow spell, Final Gasp. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If it dies, summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. Those were the ones at the start. Something like Divine Shield, Wind Fury, Lifesteals, things like that. It's a bit like Mortal Coil, but you get initiative instead of value. So, I don't know. It's not bad, but I don't think this helps Zoo out enough to make it a deck with just a single card. And perhaps the most interesting card of the set, Stealer of Souls. 4 mana 2/6 demon. After you draw a card, change its cost to health instead of mana. This can be a lot of tempo. If you play Backfire, hopefully you don't kill yourself when you play all of the cards, but you can cheat out so much stuff. You just get Jiraxxus on turn 6 or 7 and it can be pretty game winning. Don't know if it actually slots into a real deck though, that's the only problem. There's not really a deck to build around it. I'm sure the sort of people who enjoy playing Deck of Chaos will enjoy something like this even if it's not that good. Moving on to Warrior, starting off with Man at Arms, 2 mana 2/3, Battle Cry. If you have a weapon equipped, gain +1/+1. And this looks pretty meh because there isn't a 1-cost weapon, but wait, the next one. 1 mana 1/4 weapon, Whetstone Hatchet. After your hero attacks, give a minion in your hand +1 attack. That makes the curve pretty good. I don't actually think you play this in standard because you're not really playing this into a Rush Warrior most likely, because you already have quite a lot of weapons with Imprison Gnogs and Sword Eaters, and even Outriders actively playing that, so maybe you put this into Pirate Warrior in Wild because you have a lot more weapon synergies and you can stack the upgrades on the high durability. And then we also have a legendary for Warrior, Kresh, Lord of Turtling, 6 mana 3/9, Frenzy, gain 8 armor, Death Rattle, equip a 2/5 Turtle Spike, which is just a vanilla weapon. And this is what can make Sourfang decent in control because it actually heals you instead of just drawing or giving you tempo or whatever. And the weapon is a bit lackluster, but if you're probably running this in control, so it's just 10 damage really slowly. So pretty good in Control Warrior. Don't know if Control Warrior will be any better than it is already, so I guess it makes a tier 4 deck a bit better. Finally, onto the neutrals. We'll start off with the legendary Murloc, Mutinous the Devourer, 7 mana 4/4, Battle Cry, eat a minion in your opponent's hand, gain its stats. So that's a bit like Reno's effect, but it's like a discard. Anyway, it means like none of the effects will go off. So yes, it's good in some matchups, but other times you just pull a 1/1. It's a bit slow compared to something like Dirty Rat, which would actually disrupt combos early enough, so I think this card's a bit overrated, to be honest. Now we have Archdruid Naralex, another legendary minion, 3 mana 3/3, dormant for 2 turns. While dormant, add a Dream Hand to your hand at the end of your turn. Now this one, the variance is quite high, but it might be good enough, because Isra Awakens means, yeah, you might have lost tempo, but then you're coming back with a big swing, and if you just curve into the 4 mana 7/6, that can also be good. I think I probably can't predict if this is actually good until people play it, but I'm leaning to say it probably will be good. Next up, Devouring Ectoplasm. 3 mana 3/2, Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 Adventurer with a random bonus effect. Like I said, that's the like Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Rush, Poisonous, Stealth, that sort of thing. I think you put this in Death Rattle Demon Hunter as like a piloted shredder that you can pull from your Razor Bar. Seems pretty good. Apart from that, you're probably not putting it in anything else because it's just not good enough by itself without pulling it out for free. Then Selfless Sidekick, 7 mana 6/6, equip a random weapon from your deck. Anything that wants a weapon, you already have a way, Cage Match Custodian or Corsair Cache. I think this is just not good enough to put in any deck in Standard or Wild really. And finally, Meeting Stone, 1 mana 0/2, at the end of your turn, add a 2/2 Adventurer with a random bonus effect to your hand. So this is a bit like Evil Totem. So, I don't know what deck you actually put this in, but it's not awful. There's probably still pack filler there. Anyway, that's all 35 cards, and if you want to pick this up, it'll be available on June 3rd for 2,000 gold, or $20 I believe, or £16.99 if you're British like me. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, smash the notification bell, leave a comment, all that jazz. See ya.